September 9th, 2022. Dear sister, thank you for reaching out and for your honesty in sharing something so personal to you. I am honored by your openness and trust. I've had my own nightmarish experiences with mental health that really tore my life apart, and I only recently figured out what was going on. Depression hurts, but with professional help, it helped me find myself, connect all the tiny parts of me that were long forgotten. Finally, I became me. All this is to say, I understand, and I'm glad you're starting to feel better. I feel you, and I hear your pain. To me, you are more than just the work you do, and this project has been more than just the product of the piece or the performance of the work. I believe yours and my, music speaks through our brokenness, and therefore our collaboration has a very special meaning. I like to believe that each season of life brings new challenges, but also opportunities for abundance. And I hope that this new season brings you everything you need to get to where you want to be. Take very good care of yourself, please. If you need anything or anyone, I am here. Love, your sister. Well, here we are at the premiere, long awaited. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We really do get by with a little or a lot of help from our friends. So thank you, composers, my sisters. A friend recently told me that life is sometimes too strange for fiction. So this evening, I've decided to turn myself inside out. A small backstory, I grew up in Connecticut full-time with my mother and stepfather. So some of these stories are a little glimpse into that specific period of my life. So here we go. want to create something beautiful. How do you create from a place of nothingness? I feel as though I'm submerged below water, breathing from a straw. I can see people calling for me, but I'm down too deep. It's been going all right in my new home. The water's pretty warm and buoyant. I'm lucky I'm not sinking, so there's not much to fight against. My hair is growing, wrapping around me like seaweed. My hands are starting to prune. Below me, I see how dark it is. I have no idea how deep it goes. Somehow, I can't make it down there to explore, nor can I float to the surface where it's sunny skies and I can take a full breath, walk on land. I'm starting to accept I'll stay here. I welcome my growing fins and gills. And so what? Does everyone have to walk on land? Am I still a human if I'm submerged here forever? What the hell does it matter anyway? I'll stay here as long as I need. Alone, settling in, not sinking, not swimming, suspended.
overwhelming, coming through clear from how far? Fusion, luminous, coming clear from thousands of miles, through distance and thinness, the plasmic spheroid, from unknown miles, unknown distance, through the body of darkness above, illuminated body, the body at a glance, the body submerged within cloud or water or space, equilibrium, and what can be exchanged between or across, focusing up close. Fusion happening right now in the plasmic spheroid. Nothing but light. Overcome, overpowering, overwhelming. Light through distance. Fusion. Luminous. Coming clear from thousands of miles. Through distance, the thinness, the plasmic spheroid. From unknown miles, unknown distance. Through the body of darkness above. Through the body at hand. The body at a glance. The body submerged within cloud or water or space. Membranes. Equilibrium in what can be exchanged between or across.
I have very few memories from my childhood that I can recall my mother wearing pants. She mostly spent her days depressed, laid up in a white terry cloth robe, reading on the couch in her office, bare legs, curled up with size 7.5 feet, covered in satin slippers. Her legs were tan and speckled with freckles. We have very similar legs and feet, mine much paler. Every time I look down, I see her. One memory that resurfaces time and time again is from when I was 12 years old. It was late fall in New England, and my mother was being carried out of her bedroom down our creaky 200-year-old staircase by her arms and legs by 2 police officers. She was wearing a red-ribbed Gap turtleneck and white lace panties, shouting through a haze of pills and booze, "Where's my daughter?" She was donning a nearly identical outfit sometime later when she smashed a coffee mug on her forehead and took off running into the woods behind our house, blood streaming down the right side of her face. Decades later, when she was sick with cancer and I returned home to care for her, she was back in her white terry cloth robe. This time, giving no shits about modesty, would constantly flash me and my brothers when she got up from the couch with nothing underneath. The sad joke we laughed about was how the chemo even stripped off her pubic hair. This was all a level of intimacy I didn't care for. But there I was, processing the pity and the pain in these many pantsless moments.
Who do you recognize? Who sits close to you? Who you can see and hear? Who you can see and hear? Who I don't speak to very often. Who do you recognize? Who sits close to you? And who is us? Where did I grow up? Where did I learn to drive? Where do I go for holidays? Where was I born? Where do my parents live? Where do I live now? Now, maybe it's nothing. It's very hard to concentrate. Who are we? All day long. Who? We, to be that distracted. Who? Who do you recognize? Who sits close to you? And who is us? Where did I grow up? Where did I learn to drive? Where do I go for holidays? Where was I born? Where do my parents live? Where do I live now? Is us and this other woman and all on this one weekend and they were all happy. I like old things. I have no explanation for how I would have known that. I mean, I want to have lunch. I think I'm a writer. Every year. Fight, first. Flight, first. A newspaper. The light was actually very beautiful from this window. A very dear friend. All day long, the light was actually very beautiful from this window. Old things and memory and who is on this one weekend and decline and discipline. Duplicate every year. Growth and harder. He and his. How many tabs I have open. I think in that moment. Not kidding. Of course. Old things. Once a year. Research. So. Stories. The light was actually very beautiful from this window. Profoundly distracted. Yeah. I think discipline. Every year. Formal training is nice and harder and all day long. All on this one weekend, all day long. But I change and but I who is us? Decline. Disciplines. A newspaper.
My mother loved men, and she wanted me to be loved and adored by men. She always told me to make sure the man loves you more than you love him, or marry a rich man who loves the arts so you can be free to make music and never have to worry about money. Are we ever that free? I had many potential female mentors in my life, but outside of my cello teachers, none of them lasted long. She was threatened by any woman who came into my life that might replace her. She wanted me all to herself, enmeshed beyond my control. She did, however, get giddy when older men came into my life and wanted to mentor me. Many of them pitied me and saw a very vulnerable young woman from a troubled home. I embraced their mentorship. I had no other choice. I was trained to seek out the approval of daddies and potential future husbands from a very young age. Make mommy proud. One particular mentor I had was an accompanist who took me under his wing. My mother just loved this man. He was also messed up, troubled childhood, addicted to drugs. One night on AIM chat, it was the 90s, okay? He told me he was doing lines in the bathroom during our coachings, and because I wasn't 18 yet, it was difficult to keep himself from leaping over the piano to fuck me. I don't remember how I felt at that moment, probably a mix of shock and prickly curiosity. The hardest part of this all was that he was one of the few adults in my life that actually believed the level of abuse I was experiencing at home. He listened and validated me. I'm pretty sure, if I think about it, my 17-year-old brain teetered between the draw of what it would actually be like to have sex with such an older man and the beginnings of giving in to any troubled person who was perhaps just as traumatized as I was, trying to fix them, trying to torture myself. Until I was about 13, I was terrified of bedtime. After some manipulatively inspiring summers at an evangelical Jesus camp in the middle of dusty nowhere, Texas, I began writing in a Jesus journal every night, mostly begging God to help my mother. Whatever works, right? Please, God, help my mom quit smoking. Please, God, help my mom quit drinking. Please, God, stop my mom from hitting me. Please, God, don't let my mom kill herself. Not much of that ended up getting fixed, but we're not here to talk about my relationship with Jesus. My mother ended up finding that journal and confronting me about it. That was the end of my Jesus journal. Anyway, after my Jesus journaling, I'd read some Encyclopedia Brown, and my mother would climb into my bed wearing her terry cloth robe to say goodnight. She loved the bedtime routine. She sang 2 lullabies to me in her very beautiful voice. One was the classic Brahms lullaby with lyrics about the Sandman, and the other was one she made up herself. Amanda, Amanda, beautiful little pearl, Mommy's baby and Daddy's little girl. She's Jamie and Chrissy's Tootsie, she's Grandma and Grandpa's dear. So Amanda, Amanda, let's have a rousing cheer. Hooray! I always joined in on that last part. This song makes me incredibly sad. Besides everything, I still miss my mom deeply. I can't sing that song without crying. But at the time, in the thick of it, I was sick of those songs and no longer wanted to hear them. My mother was obsessive compulsive and would shower about 3 times a day. After the evening shower, the skin on her face was taut and shiny. Facial products were not focused on restoring the skin with natural oils in the 90s. They essentially stripped off as many layers of your face as possible to reveal your youthful glow. Her breath reeked of cigarettes barely masked with crest and spearmint scope. Her hair was pulled back in a tight bun. She would forcefully kiss and hug me. I was secretly repulsed by this, trying politely to protect myself, folding inward. Sometimes I forced out a giggle because I could see how happy it made her, but it was too intimate for me. Most days, she bounced back at bedtime from whatever torturous day we had and brought out her ice cream sundae kisses routine. She licked imaginary whipped cream off my cheeks and sucked an imaginary cherry off my nose. But sometimes things were so bad at night, I didn't go to bed with nighttime face sucking and lullaby singing. I just laid on my back, trying to fall asleep while seriously worried how my mom might kill me in my sleep. Would she put a pillow over my face? Poison me? Just get out a knife and stab me? Where did I get this idea from? This wasn't typical childhood imagination. I didn't watch Dateline at this age, though with older brothers, I had already seen my fair share of slasher films by age 6. No, my mother was a wildly unpredictable woman who I really thought felt at times she was better off without me. Thinking back on the nighttime routine now, I can see what a long tether my mother attached to me, a proverbial umbilical cord. She'd reel me in and throw me back out, and through it all, the abuse, drunken stupors, and scary suicide attempts, she was the only one who took care of me day in and day out. I depended on her for survival. I had to find a way to grow alongside her, and I do think we managed okay. I was truly sad for her own circumstances. Since I was 8, I felt a deep responsibility to take care of her despite the trauma, and did more than my fair share for a long time. It was and still is incredibly painful, but it helped me become the fighter I am today. So Amanda, Amanda, let's have a rousing cheer. Hooray! One night in 1995, I hit puberty. I was 13 and obsessed with music from the 60s and 70s. It was the 90s and the hippies were back, baby. One evening, my stepsister and I got into my stepfather's record collection. I wore an oversized tie-dye Grateful Dead t-shirt and black stretch pants. We stuck glow-in-the-dark stars on our fingertips and waved our arms in the air as if holding lighters, swaying to the sounds of the Mamas and the Papas, Jefferson Airplane, and Jimi Hendrix. It was during California Dreamin' that a waft of body odor suddenly raided my nose. I leaned my face into my right armpit, and wouldn't you know it, I smelled awful. I ran into the bathroom to inhale this beautiful stench in private. Pulling down the sleeve of my t-shirt for closer inspection, I saw 4 scraggly armpit hairs took up residence in my armpit. Hallelujah, team spirit, here I come. What kind of chemical cover-up did I want to mask my BO with? Something fruity and fun or flowery and fresh? I could finally be like all the other women I idolized in the Wilton, Connecticut YMCA locker room. They smelled amazing and looked like models wrapped in white towels coming out of the sauna. I would secretly watch them as they spread lotion on their legs and inspected their face in the mirror. My post-swim class caboodle held all of my coveted beauty products: Noxzema, Rave hairspray, Herbal Essence shampoo, Johnson & Johnson baby powder, and the bottle of CK1 I got for Christmas. And now I could add a shiny new tube of Teen Spirit to my caboodle. I couldn't wait to spread the white cream all over my stinky pits, to finally feel fresh and in control. It was one of those nights. Police in my kitchen. Stepfather drove off. Mother being escorted out of the house, either into an ambulance or the back of a cop car. I never got over the embarrassment of living on a main road in a small town where there was no mistaking whose driveway the red and blue flashing lights were coming from. They usually sent a female police officer on these calls. Her name was Officer Briggs. She was tall with a blonde bob that curled under at the ends. I always thought she looked quite handsome in her uniform. So there was a routine to all of this. Answer questions for the police report. What did you witness? Were you hit? Where is your stepfather? What did your mom take? Police officer asks if I have a place to go for the night since I was a minor. Call childhood best friend's mom, Elise. Feel ashamed, get picked up, and arrive at friend's house sad that this wasn't a regular sleepover and all the fun was sucked out of it. One of these nights there was a moment, a small moment, that has stuck with me. I was sitting on the stairway landing between my friend's parents' bedroom and hers. This was the landing where we'd play Playmobil. She had 2 beautiful dollhouses and we'd dump all the toys in the middle of the floor, taking turns selecting one piece of furniture at a time to keep it fair. Each of us always wanted the piano that played for Elise when you pushed down the keyboard. So real-life Elise, my friend's mother, and I sat on the floor of this landing. Not a joyful, sun-filled day like I usually do. It was late at night, dark and quiet. She tried to get me to talk. She looked at my face and told me it was okay to cry. It took the strength of 1,000 wild horses to control every muscle in my throat and hold back tears as I proudly claimed, I don't need to cry. I come back to this landing often. And after all of this, when my mother died, it was a complete shock to my system. I missed her immediately. I wanted her to come back. After I got the call she was unconscious and being taken off life support, my friend drove me from New Hampshire to Boston, her last place of residence. I was completely numb. Tears streamed down my face as my friend gripped the wheel of my breaking down car all the way through 5 o'clock traffic. I always longed for the chance that my mother would somehow level out, be less triggering. No matter how much she hurt me, I knew the only person she really wanted to hurt was herself. So I always went back to care for her. Our relationship drove me to deep depths of self-hate, but we were tethered. We were the only ones in our lives who had this bond. She was half the reason I came into existence. She loved me so deeply, so sickeningly, so desperately. So that day I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. For years, I still cry. I cry for her life, for my loss, and for the heartbreaking fact that I know I can finally grow into myself, seek out my full potential, and heal now that she's gone. September 6th, 2022. Dear sister, I wanted to thank you for your patience on my delay with getting back to FMP 3.0. I owe it to you to be open and honest about why I've been behind. I'm a very private person outside of my professional life and online presence, but I wanted to share that I've been struggling with crippling depression over the past 2 years, and it's impacted my creativity and drive to a degree that I've never experienced before in my life. What started as weeks then became months and ultimately years of numbness and despair. I've been here before, and I've always just clamped down, bore through it all. This time, it took me down, and I've gone into hiding, avoiding the pain and the shame of it all. Thank you for your kindness and understanding. I can't wait to bring your amazing commissions to life. Yours, Amanda. Thank you.